I guess I didn't realize, but I haven't done that many videos on the Fire HD8, so I thought it might be interesting to compare it to the Fire HD10 to see which is the better option. The Fire HD8 costs $90 versus $150 for the Fire HD10. Now these are the base models. They both come with 32 or 64 gigabytes of storage. Plus you can use a micro SD card up to 1 terabyte on both as well. But keep in mind they're always on sale off and on throughout the year, so there's a pretty good chance you can get them even cheaper. The Fire HD8 has a lower resolution 8-inch screen, 1280 by 800 resolution, where the larger HD10 has 1920 by 1200 resolution with a 10.1 inch display. So 189 ppi on the HD8, 224 on the HD10. For those of you out there counting. You'll also get full HD playback on Netflix with the HD10, only SD playback on the HD8. Screen brightness is actually going to be pretty comparable between these two, but the viewing angles are a little bit better on the HD10. When reading text on the smaller HD8, you're going to notice it's not quite as clear as on the HD10, but not bad considering the price. They're advertising up to 12 hours use for battery life for both of these. I know they both have really good standby time, barely draining 1% overnight. During my battery drain test, the Fire HD8 lasted 7.5 hours before dying. The HD10 lasted over 9 hours. I mean, both are going to last you through the whole day with normal usage, even longer if you turn the screen brightness down. So really good battery life overall. Although the older HD10 actually lasted even longer than these. But if you want the tablet with better battery life, you're going to want to go with the HD10. Neither of these are going to be considered high performance or gaming tablets, but for the price, I feel like they get the job done. You get 2 gigabytes of RAM with the HD8, 3 gigabytes of RAM with the HD10. Now keep in mind there are plus versions of both of these where you can get 1 more gigabytes of RAM on each tablet. Now, obviously the bigger, newer Fire HD10 is gonna feel a little bit faster, more powerful overall compared to the HD8, but both tablets are fast enough for most simple things, and while testing some games on both tablets, it's definitely gonna be easier to handle games on the HD8 with the smaller screen, but things are gonna tend to look a little bit better on the HD10 with its higher resolution display. Weird thing is you get balanced graphics on both for PUBG Mobile, but then medium frame rates on the HD10, high frame rates on the HD8 by default. You would think that's going to be the other way around, but no. Both tablets are on Fire OS 7.3.2.3, which is looking pretty dated really, probably because it's based on Android 9. But there's not a whole lot to compare when it comes to the software. They're going to be very similar, almost identical, but obviously on a larger screen with the HD10. It's just going to be a little bit easier to do multitasking. You can connect a keyboard and mouse to both of these to be more productive. Not quite as good as on other Android tablets in my opinion. Now, if you're used to the software on Fire HD tablets, you may be used to not having the Google Play Store. To me, I feel like it's something they should have by now, right out of the box, so you don't have to try to sideload things or hacking the tablets just to be able to download more apps. Now, when I use both of these tablets, I find myself hitting the power button a little bit too often by accident. It really seems like the worst spot that you could put it on these. Although, I don't know, maybe they thought you would see more ads on the lock screen by putting the power button on the side like that. So where they put the speakers is on one side of the tablet, and as you could guess, just one look at the size difference between these two, it's not too much of a surprise. It's quite a bit louder on the HD10 over HD8, but to be honest, neither one really sound that great as far as the quality of how the speakers sound. Good thing is they both have a headphone jack. Let me give you a quick sample of each just to give you an idea of what they sound like. Cameras are going to be very similar on these two as well, except you get a higher resolution 5 megapixel front facing on the Fire HD10. You also get higher resolution for video recording on the HD10 as well. You get 1080p versus only 720p on the HD8 for the rear camera, and then 720p resolution for the HD10, only 480p resolution for the front facing camera on the HD8. So yeah, not really ideal for Zoom meetings or other video conference calls, but if I had to use one of these for Zoom meetings, I would definitely grab the HD10. Here's a few samples of photos and video just to give you an idea of what to expect. So that's about all the time I have for this one. Hopefully it gave you a little closer look at the Fire HD8 versus the Fire HD10. I'll probably be testing out the new Fire 7 that's coming out next month, so you'll definitely want to look out for that as well. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.